This is Emmanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emmanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.
Welcome to the Monday Night Power Hour.
Which number?
Ooh. Number 84.
Woohoo! 84. That's a high number.
Not get better than this.
It's getting bigger.
Well, guys, let's start doing some questions. We've got 6 people watching. Hopefully, we're about to get more. Put your questions in the chat, guys. Say hello to us. Let us know where you're watching from. And then we've got Scott McCoy in the studio live. We can answer his questions until we start getting some. Scott, you got anything?
Scott, you got questions?
Scott wants to know, how can he raise some money for his first deal ever? He's making a post in his out of Apex. He's got the deal of a lifetime in Ocala, Florida. McKenna and I are wholesaling it to him. And by the way, because Scott is someone who has been one of McKenna's best friends really most of his life, both McKenna and I are highly vested in Scott being successful on this first deal. So he's looking for a money partner. That's his question. Who wants to step up?
Well, Scott, I think it's a good idea to come tomorrow to the Shark Tank and present your deal. Get people excited to it.
I do too.
Scott has no questions. He's sitting there, just nodding his head.
12 people watching, only 3 people liking. Oh, no, 5 people liking. Come on, guys. 12 people watching. We should have at least 135 likes.
We got questions. We got answers.
Go,
Bill
Scott. What's your question?
Sebring, Florida. Bill, what kind of real estate are you working on? What are you trying to buy? What do you need help with? How can we help?
Go for it, Scott.
What did you just say, McKenna?
Bill, I said Bill Day is watching from Sebring, Florida, and then I asked him what he needs help with.
Or what kind of real estate are you investing in, Bill?
Cool.
Scott has a question. Go, Scott. Yell.
So for someone that wants to, obviously, if you're going to be a real estate investor, you need cash flow or live.
Yeah.
How do you transition? How do you recommend transitioning from full-time job to?
Oh, good question. Scott's question is a great question, and everybody's had this question. How do you transition from a full-time job into becoming a real estate investor?
Just quit your job
and still have money so that you can put food on the table and eat. And by the way, Scott's about to have a bigger family soon, so it becomes even more important. So McKenna, what do you think? I think we all have opinions on this, and we all probably did this differently.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hear your guys, and then I'll go. So
okay, the way I'm doing it is, I would say not the ideal way, guys. So I made a decent amount of money wholesaling properties, and then I started flipping on my own. But the goal was, okay, live off the money I've made on the flips, and then build up a rental portfolio and start trying to live on those rentals. I think trying to live on the rental income was a mistake, and that I wasn't doing flips, and I needed to be doing flips in order to have that active income. So that goes down to the mindset of maybe, flip 2, keep 1 as a rental, flip 1, keep 2 as a rental, whatever that is, where you're continually going back and forth, making earned income and building wealth through rental properties. Then the way that I've been eating is I married a nurse who gets a paycheck. So I've been living off her. So, Scott, I would send your wife to go get a high-powered corporate America job.
100%.
100%. Adon's wife is a flight air traffic controller.
She makes real money.
And she makes real money. So
Man, big money too. That's how Adon's doing it. I mean, so we all 3 did the same thing. We all married up. Marrying up is good. I married an attorney, and honest to God, when I did, I was 21 years old, and these are the thoughts that went through my mind. I've done it. I've married an attorney. I'm joining the country club, and I'm just going to live off of my wife. That's what I thought at 21 years old when I married an attorney.
The most manly thing he ever said.
That's what I thought to myself. And then we started having babies, and I even tried to do the stay-at-home dad thing, which Don is going through too.
I am not a stay-at-home.
And guys, what happened with that was I quickly realized that I just wasn't built to not be working. I had to get out there, and I needed to start making. I needed to be the man of the house. I needed to be the leader. As much as I did actually marry up and could have probably relaxed a little bit, that just wasn't the way God wired me. So I like what McKenna said about active income.
Here's what I say, Scott. If you have a job, do you have a job?
Yeah.
Okay. Start with one deal and see how you manage that deal with your job. And if you can do now a next deal and manage it better, and it gets better as you keep going, then you start replacing your first job, But until then, you just got to keep trying whatever facets of real estate you want to try. Is it flipping? Is it wholesaling? Is it long-term rents? And the best thing you could do, because you have a 9-to-5, is start building your long-term rent portfolio, because you have stable income, you have credit, you have all that stuff, plus your wife, if she does the same, you can start building a little portfolio that way and eventually get to something.
I think the active income is the key thing that both Adon and McKenna have said. And for me, even 27, 28 years into this, in the seasons where we've done less of the active stuff and tried to rely more on the passive stuff, I mean, it took us a long time to get to where we could live on the rents. But even though we're able to live on the rents, I still like having that active income. I like those big chunks of money. And so if you're looking at real estate, in how many houses do you have to sell in order to replace your income that you have with your job, that's a good place to start. Like, do I need to sell 5 houses a year and make $20,000 a house to replace a $100,000 a year job? Or am I working for minimum wage, and one house that made me $20,000 would replace my entire year's worth of income? For a lot of people that are starting out, that's true.
100%.
I think it's a lot easier for the people who are working minimum wage and can't really make ends meet anyway, to just quit that job and then go do one deal, like you said. I like the flipping. So when I'm thinking about becoming a real estate investor as a young person starting out, or Scott, you've got a job, but if you could flip a couple of houses and replace your income, you could flip the first house while you still have your job, and then you'd know what you're doing by the time you're into your second deal.
Yeah.
And it is very active income, right? Like it's a massive amount of effort to go and make the work. And McKenna, you and I have talked about this several times. For the last several years, you make 100 or so grand a year, but you may not make anything for months at a time. Your wife has steady income, and it kind of freaks her out that you go 3 months at a time without making any money. But then you might have a 60-day window where you make all of the money that you're going to make in a year. Yeah. And it dwarfs in comparison maybe what somebody else's salary would be.
It is, Scott, it was pretty funny. I was at the grocery store with Margaret. Margaret's a 14-year-old that I've adopted, guys who are watching this. And we're looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, no, we can't buy that. And she's like, well, should we ask Hannah? Because Hannah makes all the money. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, I promise I make money too, Margaret.
Ouch.
It just comes in spurts.
Yeah. And people who are married, you have to find that balance, right? So oftentimes, I know for me, it was true. McKenna's mom really valued security. And so she married the wrong guy, because for me, I never saw security in having a job. I really saw security in, if I needed something, all I needed to know was, what do I need? And then I'd go out and I'd make it. And that was great for me. That made me feel good. I was the man of the house, but it didn't make my wife feel real warm and fuzzy, because we didn't. And to this day, I mean, I don't believe in saving money. So it took it took counseling before I realized, hey, life would be easier for me if I would just take 15 or 20 grand and stick it into an account that I don't touch. But guys, that took me 20 years to figure out. So I just had a nervous wife for 20 years, you know. So don't do that. Don't do that.
Still don't do that.
I
I
think
mean,
She
we
does it
have
better.
we have some money that's a nest egg that Robbie doesn't touch most of the time.
Not allowed.
I don't, but every once in a while, McKenna and I will gang up on her and we'll be like, hey, we're gonna break into the super secret savings and buy this thing, but we try not to.
She's like, I'll sue both of you.
I'll kill you all.
Yeah. Scott, I know you're a really good budgeter. Probably what I would do is, like my dad said, do the flip, make a chunk of change, build up a nest egg that you can live on, do another flip while you're still working, so you can like really prove to yourself and to Megan that, you know, this is a way that you can make a living. And
they'll
then
never
I would
believe
start looking, you know, after a couple flips. Then once you have that nest egg and you've got time, because, you know, sometimes you might get into a deal and it takes 6 months. So I would make sure you always have the budget
Or 2
when you're
years.
doing this job for, especially with the baby too, 6 months, 7 months worth of, you know, nest egg where you're busy flipping houses, but just depending on how things go, it might take that long. So that's probably what I would do.
I like the idea of not just thinking. I mean, we often talk about getting people their first deal. We want to see everybody do their first deal, but really what we want to see is someone who does their first deal and then their second deal and then their third deal, all in rapid succession, so that you can get into a conveyor belt pattern of it. It's all active income, but you have one that you bought that you're renovating and now it's for sale, one that you bought that you're starting a renovation on, and then you're automatically looking for the third one. And so you start to have this little hamster wheel going where you're really starting to rely on real estate investing as your way of making a living, if that makes sense. So that's a good way to think about it. A lot of people think, oh, I just want to find my first deal and do my first deal, but you want to go, I think, faster. Oh, well, I always like to go fast, right? So one of the problems with me is that I jump in with both feet and I just go kind of all out, and maybe that's not the best way to go, but it served me well to do it. So and I think you can always do more than you think you can.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, we all have these beliefs that we don't have time for this or that or the other thing, and I can't have a wife and a baby and a job and flip 6 houses at one time. But you really can. You just have to sleep less.
Scott, you're gonna have to go to Kazakhstan less.
Give up production.
Hey guys, all 30 of you that are watching, I've got a list of requirements for you. Hit the like button, send this video to someone else that you think would be interested in the content, and then put a question in the chat and let us know where you're watching from. Good to see everybody. Glad you're here.
Is there more questions there, McKenna? I can't see from here.
Bill Day has a question. Through a realtor, I have a deal in Texas, but does not match the 70%. But do you have investors that might be able to I might be able to wholesale to, cash flowing before reduction? So, Bill, you're saying the property is over 70% ARV minus repairs. Is that what you're saying? Let us know.
I think that's what he's saying, and I think he's saying, hey, this is a buy and hold rental property. And yes, of course, you can wholesale cash flowing properties to people who want to keep rental properties. Places that I would immediately start to look, Bill, if you've got it under contract and you think it's a good enough deal that you could tack on a little bit and find someone who wants to keep it. There's a local RIA. Absolutely, there's a local RIA in every reasonably sized town in Texas. And if there's not a local RIA because your town is so small, then go to the next biggest town where there is a RIA and start presenting your deal to people. There's Facebook Marketplace where you can, once you've contracted a property and you're trying to find that buyer so that you can sell the paper, put it on all the Facebook Marketplace groups. You can make posts inside of our community. So we have a group of a few thousand people in our free group, and many of them are in Texas. We've done deals with some people who we met through the community in Texas. So if you want to join that, I don't know if you're already a member of the Flip Flop Flipper community, but McKenna will put the link in this chat right now, and you can join. It's free. And then if you're really interested in becoming a real estate investor, join us in Apex. Don can tell you about that.
Don't waste your time joining the free. Just join Apex.
Well, I don't think you're wasting your time. Anytime you're taking action.
Well, I'll say it like this.
You're doing-
If you want real qualified people that are buying stuff, then join Apex. If you want to just have people that are window shopping, go to the free.
Yep.
You know what? That's true though. So last week I got presented a deal in North Florida, and I made a post in the Apex WhatsApp chat and just said, hey, I've got a deal. And I think I briefly described it. And I had a few people reach out to me right away. And we've got now 3 different people that are ready to buy it. The first person who reached out to me, we're working with her to get her the property. And I think it's a tremendous deal. And we tacked on a small fee and we're wholesaling it. If the first buyer goes away, we've got 2 more lined up as well. And it all came from one post. And my post was nothing special. Do you even remember the post, McKenna? Because I don't. But I think it was like, hey, I've got a deal in Tallahassee. Who's interested? And then had a couple people reach out, and I gave them the information we had, and we have somebody who wants to buy it. And it's a really good deal. So it also, by the way, doesn't meet the 70% rule. It's a cash flowing deal with some 0% interest seller financing. So there's several different ways to make something attractive, and it's not always about price.
And another thing about posting in a group like that, you will get feedback. People will say to you, hey, I don't like that deal because of this. I don't like it because if it's not a deal they want. And then you're able to build up a knowledge base of like, okay, this is what people are looking for. This is what makes a deal a good deal. I mean, when I was first starting, when I was 16, I would look at properties. I'd find something I thought was a good deal, and then I'd bring it to my dad, and he'd say, no, this is a bad deal because of this. And then I would go and be like, oh, man, I put so much work into this, yada, yada, yada. And then I'd go find another one, and I just over and over and over again, put in the reps of here's a deal. Why is it not good? And you learn a ton by doing that, guys. Next question from Anna. Well, let me go through the list here. Retirement Cash Flow says, what's up? Amon says, no problem. Watching it from DC. Good to see you, man.
Nice.
Watching from New York City. And then Anna's question, what are your thoughts regarding the Fannie Mae Home Path properties? Do we work with them the same way or not at all? And Fannie Mae Home Path,
Not at all.
I think is REO homes.
Yeah, so they're foreclosed homes. They're bank owned. They put them out on what they call an auction or a sealed bid. It's not that we wouldn't buy them. Of course we would. I made an offer with Emmanuel on one in Kamoy recently, and they denied our offer. And I'm pretty sure that the house is just still on the market. Like they just want what they want, and they're not going to discount it.
Yeah, that's what I've seen too.
But that doesn't mean they never discount. So what happens is, if you see bank-owned properties, and we've made a habit of this, and especially because if you're in Apex, you have access to Go High Level, you can make your initial offer, have the bank reject you, and follow up with it periodically, month after month after month, and continue to make the offers. What happens is the banks will decide to sell their assets owned eventually because they have rules that they have to abide by. And if you're Johnny on the spot and you've made the next offer when they've gone to committee and decided, hey, we're going to dump that one, then they'll dump it. I think that the Home Path stuff, generally speaking, works the same way. But that's just a little trick that we've learned with the bank-owned stuff, that just because they say no originally, if they're not selling it to someone else, just keep making them offers. We had several times where we would make the offer 3 or 4 times over the course of several months, and then eventually they would just sell us the property. We've been doing this a long time, so it's not ever been the best way to buy houses, but it's something that you can track through Go High Level. And if you're a part of Apex, you get that Go High Level for free.
See,
The consistency is really important, guys. You will be looking at so many properties that you forget what you've looked at, and you need a way to track it, and that's what Go High Level's for. How long does it normally take you to sell a flip after the renovation is done? I see things on the market a long time, has me concerned about the exit. We have completely changed our pricing strategy in this market compared to 2 years ago. Tell them what you've done, Dad.
Man, so Don and I are waiting on a contract today on a flip that we finished the renovation on how many months ago?
A year.
Damn near a year ago, right? So we have been on the market for an extraordinarily long period of time, and we're going to take an offer that's far below what we had hoped to get.
Oof.
But it's just we're like that bank where we've got to sell. We're going to still make some money. Yeah. But Adon did this fantastic renovation, and because the market has slowed, and we stuck it out there at full market value at top dollar. It sat there for a long time, and we have kind of reluctantly lowered the price, and now we're selling at like $550 when we thought we'd get $700.
I think there's a lot to say on that particular property. Is it's the speed of the flip, and I've been trying to get better at all my flips.
Yeah,
but that one took a long time to do, and when we bought it and started renovating, the market was really hot, and it got to the point we held it too long.
Yep.
And it started slowing down. And I think if we would have gotten out fast enough,
if we had it out
I
8
think
months
we'd be
before
fine.
we got it out,
Yeah.
or 6 months before even, it probably would have sold faster at a higher
100%.
number.
100%.
The other thing that McKenna started to mention, we are way more aggressive on the way that we price homes now. So, for instance, if I've got a couple of flips going in Florida, and as we finish them, I will certainly be pricing them at something below what top of the market is for the neighborhood. So if I'm looking at the neighborhood and everything's selling for 360, 370, 380, I'm probably going to list at 350 because I want to be the one that sells next. I want to grab the attention of whoever the buyer is that's in that neighborhood. And why? It's because we're seeing way more houses on the neighborhood. We're seeing a slowing market. So if you go back in time 2.5 years ago, we would go and renovate a house, and I would look at the properties that had just recently sold, and I would price above whatever the last most expensive house was. So if I saw stuff recently selling for 360 or 370, I'd price it 389.9, or hell, I might price it at 399.9 and just go for this top of the market, and then I'd quickly lower my price. So that's a completely different pricing strategy now in a slower market than before. And it's definitely a buyer's market right now, guys. It is absolutely a buyer's market, not a seller's market. I have some thoughts on that, and we should do some long content about this. But I believe for those of you who have been waiting for the buyer's market, this is your chance. And looks like they're going to lower interest rates 3 times before the end of the year, which means I think we'll have an amazing snapback probably next year if that's true. Because even though we've got more inventory on the market, and I'm talking about Florida now specifically, it's not that much more. And once interest rates come down, everything's going to fly off the shelves. And so if you don't move now, if you blink, you're going to miss this opportunity. This buyer's market probably doesn't last for 2 years. I think this buyer's market is a 12-month window, maybe an 18-month window, and then it's going to be gone. What do you think, McKenna?
Yeah. We're getting to the point in the market cycle where I'm finally hearing from people, the Fed lowering interest rates doesn't necessarily decrease mortgage rates. We might be here forever. And right about then is when I think, okay, people are finally settling into this market. It's going to change on them. The Fed is going to lower interest rates. It will affect the mortgage rate. I know they're not, the same number, but they are connected, guys, because that's how banks borrow money from each other. So if they can borrow cheaper money, they're going to compete and get the prices down. That's just how it works. And I think it will change the market. When interest rates get, if they ever go to 4%, it's game over. I mean, it's going to be an explosion in the housing market again. How is the McMansion flip going from Michael K?
Wow, Michael, thanks.
It's going good, but
the place looks phenomenal. I want to live there, but we are struggling to do our punch list and get that thing on the market. We were supposed to be done by the 28th of September, and God willing, we'll be done sometime this month and be on the market. We've identified the realtor that we're going to use with Sotheby's, and they tell us they can sell it at the number we want, and they've asked us to do a few things, and we're waiting for those few things to be done so that we can list it and somebody will buy it.
it's those last 10%, guys, that always take forever, especially if you're only sending one guy to do all the work. So we're hopefully getting close to
Hey, Richard.
getting it done.
Good. How are you?
Some of the things we're doing, we added a brand new generator, so that way, you know, whoever moves into the house, if they move in that day, they lose that.
Night Live.
They lose power.
That's all right.
We're gonna be good, and some rose bushes and a couple other things, but we're working on it.
On Wednesday, we believe so, and I have two other
So-
buyers behind her.
I feel like every renovation I've ever done, the punch list takes almost as much time as ripping out everything, putting in floors, putting in drywall, putting in kitchen, putting in bathroom. Fine. Equals.
I will, and we signed the
10%
JV agreement with you
stuff.
earlier today.
I'm going through that right now with a
And I
flipping
think
aguadilla.
We've got
It's
a time
just-
arranged for
So I keep telling my guys, just finish the tile work,
tomorrow.
and then we're done.
Talking to
It's about putting doors and a couple toilets in, and we're done. And it's just doesn't break through to these guys' heads. And I'm working with a bunch of old people, so they all have doctor's appointments and stuff. It's terrible. It's amazing. Guys, you should save for retirement, or else you're going to be working into your 80s laying tile. Just saying.
Okay.
True. I think too, guys, it's attention to detail stuff, which no one wants to do, especially not contractors, and that's why.
Well,
it takes so long.
Yes, 100%. They're like, oh, I already did the big stuff. I can leave now.
Yep.
It's like, no.
I think whoever asked the question about how the McMansion flip is going, I'll be able to tell you probably 30 days after we list the property how it's going, because I think we're going to know
So in December.
hopefully right away whether or not it's going to sell fast or not.
You know what you do have a competitive advantage in, Dad, is you were on the market for a house just like this for the past 3 years, and you looked at everything.
That
So
was
I feel like
I looked at everything, and we didn't see one house that's as nice as the McMansion.
Yeah.
And so, you take that for what it is. The market was a little better when I started looking than it is now. But in Puerto Rico, we haven't seen the kind of softening that we've seen in Florida.
I also think that rich people, the market conditions matter way less. When you're talking about these mansions, they just want a place to live. They don't give a shit what the interest rates are.
I really hope it works, because if it does, we're going to immediately buy another one.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Been looking.
We're already looking.
But
That's
we're not gonna get at the price we want.
What are you saying? Of course we're going to get it at the price we want.
Now everything's 500 in that area.
Oh,
we could have gotten more. We should have bought more.
yeah. Oh well.
Build day, joined Apex first day. Love that.
Oh wow! All right,
Congrats.
Bill, glad to have you.
Bill
Miguel
is
says, guess
awesome.
what? There is a multifamily property with 2 floors in a high crime zone in Cayey for $40,000.
Perfect.
I
Buy
offered
it.
$10,000 and they accepted my offer.
Oh,
Your opinion in Section 8 for these 2 units?
my opinion is that a duplex for $10,000. I don't care. I don't care if it's a bad area. You're going to make money on that. I'm assuming that there's a building there and that you're not just buying a lot, but
Dude,
that sounds like something that you're going to make money on.
The first year you should make your $10,000 back.
Yeah.
If they're livable at all.
Who has the $10,000 duplex? You looking for a partner?
Miguel does.
Miguel, you want a partner?
Miguel, are you an Apex?
Miguel is. Yeah.
So what was the question?
I think he's just telling us. He's just bragging that he's out here getting deals.
What's your opinion on Section 8 for these 2 units?
Oh, that's right.
I love it. So you're going to have to renovate this property up to Section 8 standards, right? But those are really easy standards. Let's say it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath on each floor.
You have to
You're probably talking about $600 per floor minimum with Section 8, even in Calle. And say you end up all in it at 40 or 50 grand. That's a great return. Not only that, but if you wanted to do it as a flip, you probably have a ton of upside.
Yep.
Not only that, but if you just wanted to sell it right now, you could probably find somebody on this freaking live that would give you 20 grand for it. And I don't even know what it looks like.
It almost doesn't matter.
Don just told me that we're not going to be able to buy another house in the San Ignacio neighborhood at the price that we wanted to pay. It is what you said. They're all $500,000 now.
Of course.
They're not all $500,000. There's some cheaper ones. This is what I'm saying. This is great.
That's not San Ignacio. That's Calle.
I don't care.
He's going to build the McMansion 2.0.
How many $10,000 houses have we heard about in the last year here? Not very many. Not very many at all.
Yeah, that is cheap.
I think.
Hey guys, we're ready to go on to the next question. But if you're watching this, I've got something for you to do. Hit the like button and share this with someone you think that would be interested. And I'm talking to you. If you think I'm not talking to you, I am talking to you. Hit the like button. Hit that share button. All right.
Share it with
that,
everybody.
Scott. You gotta like the button.
Yeah, Scott, I'm talking to you.
Talking to you
and everybody else.
What are some things that make a deal bad, other than the obvious, being over budget, small window for profit, etc.? Yeah. So, what are some things? Buying it wrong.
Yep.
In other words, your purchase on the in is so vital. I mean, it's everything. Buying the $10,000 property that Miguel just got in Calle for, say, $70,000 puts him in a position where it's much harder to make money.
Yeah.
So buying it right on the front end is massive. The area means a lot. Over renovating for a neighborhood, thinking that you wouldn't live there if it didn't have those $10 a square foot floors and things like that, that can make something. I mean, that doesn't by definition make it a bad deal, but it puts you in a position where it's harder to make money.
Yeah.
So don't over renovate or don't go crazy on the renovations. Scott's going to renovate a property in Ocala, Florida. He doesn't want to renovate it to the taste of him and his wife.
Megan does not get to pick the tile.
Yeah. Megan doesn't get to go spend, McKenna's mom can't go and do the design and pick the floors because she'll spend too much money. So you have to be very careful to renovate to the level at which you're going to sell the house. Title issues, if you're doing things on the island of Puerto Rico, you could get yourself in trouble. And we talked about this in some long content we shot earlier today. A lot of times people who are just starting out, they take for granted that something has good title, and you might end up doing something where you think it's a great deal on a handshake. And it turns out that you're dealing with one guy who says he owns it, and he actually owns it with himself and 75 of his closest cousins. So be careful about title work, especially on the island of Puerto Rico. What are some other things, McKenna? I mean, there's a ton of things that you have to kind of do the due diligence on before you close on things. A lot of staying safe is about your entry into the property, right?
The money is the most important one. The only other non-obvious one, I think, is if there's like weird zoning issues and the government knows about them, or there's weird permit issues and the government's all in your business about whatever's going on. That can slow the deal down, and a slow deal oftentimes is a bad deal.
So I would put those all in the title, like checking the title and knowing I think that's important everywhere, but can be even a little bit more tricky on the island of Puerto Rico.
Yes. But I think the budget's the most important one. Guys, if the math tells you it's a bad deal, you don't need to come and ask me and Robbie and Adon, like, hey, guys, it says that I'm buying this at 90% ARV. Do you think I could do it because of X, Y, Z? The answer is no. If you think it's worth something, that's what it's going to be worth. I mean, if it's a pretty easy thing to do to find comparables. We're happy to look at your comparables.
That's an interesting thing that you say, McKenna. I think we see a lot in the comments of some of our videos that real estate investors come in and they renovate things and then they price them super high and they reset the market. You guys, that's not true, right? So I just want to rip that Band-Aid off. You do not get to set the market because you go in and fix something up. You go in and you fix something up and you sell it at what things on the market were already selling for. So the market is going to be dictated, and it's not going to be dictated by you. So if you're buying something thinking that you're buying it at 10 cents less than it's going to sell for, and then you're going to do value add and you're somehow going to sell it for more than anything's ever sold for in the neighborhood before, that's a recipe to lose all your money. You don't get to set the market. The market is set by all of the houses that sell, and you need to buy way down here so that you can then fix them up and then sell them at what all the houses are selling at. It's very rare that you're going to be setting the market, especially right now. The market's trending down, not up in most places.
Yeah.
But be very careful of that, guys.
Let's see. For the Mac Man, schedule an open house, and then that shit gets done. He's right. Just tell your team that there's an open house.
I know. That's how we got to where we are, is by having that party and saying, hey, we need to be able to have this party. And we moved heaven and earth to be able to throw the party. And then it seemed like as soon as everybody left from the party, my whole crew went on vacation.
They did.
They literally did.
They left for 3 weeks.
So, yep.
Brady says, hey, guys, is there room for me tomorrow to present a deal on the
We have room for Branny. I want to hear what happened with last week's deal, too.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Branny.
You and Branny, did I give you Deb Razzo's number? Did you connect with her? And if I didn't, or you haven't, let me know. I'll make sure that I get it to you, and then you need to connect with her. So she's a real estate investor in your state. She can at least introduce you to some people that can do hard money loans. Maybe she'd be interested in a partnership. So there you go.
Haven says, how much does Section 8 pay for a 3-1 house in Santurce, Miramar area?
You can Google that. We have that list somewhere, and we could pull it up. A 3-1 is probably
like 900 or something.
900 to $1,100 a month. Yeah. I think on Section 8, they raised. I think it's higher than 900. I think it's for most of San Juan. I think it's probably closer to 1,100.
Yeah, might be.
They raised it last year sometime. How can they find that information? I think just Google Section 8 prices.
Yeah,
just Google.
Here, let me see if ChatGPT will tell us.
Section 8 HUD list. Rental criteria. That it's a Google search away.
Michael says, while we're waiting for you to look, do you personally have Section 8 tenants in PR?
Lots of them.
Yes. The answer is
when we first came to Puerto Rico and we were buying rental properties, we were almost exclusively renting through Section 8 because we didn't speak the language really at all. And we were sort of terrified that we were going to get tenants who wouldn't pay us and we wouldn't know how to collect and do the evictions and stuff. So we went super heavy into the Section 8, the Plan Ocho kind of theory there for a while. And so we've kept some of those tenants all these years. And what happened and why we stopped doing Section 8 for a while there is that the market rents kind of got to where they were significantly higher than Section 8. So when we first came to the island, the rental market was basically set by Section 8, and they were top of the market rents. And then the market rate went above Section 8, so we started doing market rents. And now Section 8 is caught up again, so we're doing lots of Section 8 again.
Brandy says you did not connect him with Deb Razzo.
I will, Brandy. Sorry about that.
And then Mike says, what can make a deal a bad is a flood zone. Very true. Flood zones are tricky. You have to have extra insurance. If you're in a really bad flood zone, you might not be able to get insurance, and that will just blow up a house. But typically you are able to get, a Lloyd's of London policy or something like that. Brandy says, thanks. Well, guys, put your questions in the chat. This show always goes over better when we have lots of questions. Let us know how we can help. Michael says, I'm over renovating an apartment in Santurce in a middle-class building for Airbnb. There are currently like 20 Airbnbs in the building so far. What's your opinion on my idea?
There's no over renovating. If you're thinking about Airbnb, it's not a bad idea. And you've said it too. It's like the better you renovate those things, having in mind that you want to do Airbnb usually gets you a better nightly rental.
The one place where we have seen significant returns is when the better we renovate for a nightly rental, the better we do.
The better you can ask.
Yeah.
Why are you bleeding?
Where am I bleeding? What the hell?
The fuck do you do? Do you scratch yourself?
I don't know. I was bleeding over here.
This guy bleeds everywhere. If only bled money.
That would be good. Hey, I found a deal, but they only do cash, but it's a great deal. What should I do?
Buy it.
Yeah, I would buy it. And the way that you would do that, probably the next question is, how do I get the cash, guys? How does On My Grind get the cash?
You got to present your deal tomorrow at the Shark Tank. And the best way you can present your deal is have a one-pager and elevator pitch it to everybody. Hey, guys, I can buy this house for $100,000. It's worth $300,000 and needs 50. We can make $150,000 of profit. And then let people ask you questions. Don't oversell it, because if not, most people don't like that.
And guys, so the way that you get on Shark Tank, if you guys haven't seen that, that's our other live weekly show. People bring real deals that they're working on. Brandy's been on a few times. Scott's been on. Emmanuel's been on a bunch, who's in the little promo video there. All sorts of people. They're getting real world deals, and then they're bringing them to us, and we're telling them, what would we do? How are we seeing this deal? If you want to be on this show, if you want to be a person that gets deals, gets our opinion on them live, you need to be in our Apex group. Apex puts you in a group of people that are serious about real estate. There's been over 100 deals done in the past 12 months. We're involved in like 50% of them, but the other 50% is people that are just doing deals together. If you want to be a doer, you got to click the button. That's what we say.
Become a wanna-doer.
Become a doer.
Become a doer,
I just
not a
put the link in
wanna-doer.
the chat. Join right now. If you pay for the year, you get a big discount. You also get a free access to Go High Level. You get 4 months free of Red Atlas. We have a Thursday masterclass that you can only watch in Apex, and you get to talk to us. It's a Zoom call. You get to come up to the front. You get to have a real life conversation. It's not like this where we're just chatting back and forth. Now we have some more questions, so I'll stop my pitch.
I was doing ChatGPT research for the Section 8 stuff on a 3-1 in San Juan, and it's telling me 861. And guys, I'm sure that that's less than what I saw on the list the last time I saw the official list.
I saw 900 last.
You saw 900. So, okay. So 861 is what ChatGPT says you can get for a 3-1 in Section 8 all over the metro area.
Lying. Unless it gave you a source.
ChatGPT will lie, but I've asked it 3 times. I've prompted it 3 different times, and it's not coming off of that lie. So it's stuck at 861. That's what it's saying.
Just ask it, hey, can you give me a link to where you saw this research?
Yeah.
Let me ask it. Give me the link.
On my grind, spoke to Emmanuel about the deal today. She asked me for a proof of funds. How much do you need for the proof of funds? And on my grind, you're in Apex, right? I can send you one. I've got a proof of funds for you.
You know what I've been doing to bypass when I send my inquiry
Yeah.
is I'll say here, I'll read it out. I'll read it out loud real quick so that way. I go say, hi, I'm interested in your property that you're showing here on Facebook Marketplace. I'm a cash buyer. Give me a call. I don't work well with messages. Here's my number. And we can discuss the details. Thanks. And usually I bypass a lot of that stuff.
They call you.
They call me or text, but I bypassed can I get a pre-qualification? Because when you just ask if it's still available, they probably consider you as a normal person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not normal.
I'm a cash.
I'm a real estate investor.
How can I get
Cash
past that
buyer.
until it's locked in?
Tú quieres dinero?
Can I go back to
I
the
got
last
it.
question, or did we already answer that?
Yep. How can I get past that until it's locked in? That's what Adon was just saying.
That's what Adon was just saying. Yep.
Are government personnel 100% strict when it comes to Plan 8 requirements? Do you really need hot water on all the faucets? Electric conduit pipes have to be inside the wall and not exposed? Normal and PR.
Yes. They
yeah, but Section 8 is so easy to pass on this island. I mean, it really is just have hot water. Screens in the window, and I've seen it sometimes where they'll approve it even when you don't have screens in the windows. You're going to get an inspection. Normally, they're going to find something wrong with it, fix the thing that they want you to fix, and then you pass the next inspection.
Yeah.
You have to provide people hot water. You need to provide people a safe place to live, and the place needs to be in good condition. But like the difference between passing Section 8 here versus passing Section 8 anywhere in the States is, in the States, you got to have like central heat at the very least. You don't have that requirement here. You don't have to have air conditioning here. Running water with hot water, screens in the window, lights need to come on. You can't have exposed dangerous wiring, but I don't even think you have to have the wires in the walls, because we've passed Section 8 with conduit run up the wall.
Exactly.
It's inside of the conduit.
Yeah. There's a lot of houses you walk in and they have that Romex stuff just stapled to the wall.
That's not
all the way up to
that's not
the thing, and you're like, what the hell?
But a metal conduit,
that's fine.
Yeah,
as long as it's done professionally, you're fine.
And anyway, you're asking about the government. Nothing's 100% with the government.
They'll always find something. Roque
Pagan, San Juan, Puerto Rico, looking for financial advice. Oh, I'm sorry. Financing advice. I was going to say, we don't give financial advice.
We do not.
Private versus bank for acquiring an Airbnb property that I have under contract. Looking for a flipping and selling refinance a year after. Banking in Puerto Rico is very difficult,
especially for Airbnb.
Yeah,
it's more difficult.
Okay, so if you're able to go to the bank and get them to finance it as part of your purchase agreement, I would do that now rather than trying to refinance it later. I'm assuming if you're buying an Airbnb, it's already in good condition, and you might be able to go and just get the regular financing, FHA or conventional, as if you're going to live there.
Just don't tell them.
And then you need to have the intention that you're going to live there, and if you decide not to live there later on,
after you signed all the paperwork,
that kind of stuff can happen.
Yeah.
But don't do what all these politicians are doing in the States and say, this is going to be my primary residence. This is going to be my primary residence. And this is going to be my primary residence. And then you're very clearly committing fraud, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense? It does.
Yeah. It's not financial advice.
Committing crimes, you need to be a senator. That's what I'm hearing.
That's that's right.
If you want to be really rich,
if we all know that if you're in the U.S. Congress, you can pretty much do any damn thing you want.
Print money.
On my grind
says he is in the Congress. Yes, I am.
Oh, that's Cam.
I can send you a proof of funds for the 187, Cam. Send me a DM on school. But it's really not a big deal. Just send them an offer, even without it.
I think
But-
Ed's coming up with $870 for the Section 8 for 3-1 as well. So
Yeah.
that must be what it is. Yep.
For that Airbnb, guys, how would you finance that property? How would you structure that deal? The one
I
that
find
Roque does.
If
Rogaine.
I can't get back financing, I should just go find a partner. As long as I think it's enough money for everybody.
Yeah.
Do an equity split.
Yeah. Because I think if you do a hard money loan, you'll never get out of that loan. Unless you're going to, like you said, move into it, make it an FHA, and prove that you can live there for a while.
Yeah. When I hear people are buying an Airbnb one-off apartment, that's probably not something that I'm buying, right? Like I don't think that I'd rather buy something that was a long-term rental and buy it based on long-term rents and then decide to turn it into an Airbnb later because I see the upside rather than buying something that's an Airbnb and keeping it as an Airbnb, especially if it's just one apartment, because I find them very hard to make money with. So when we're buying nightly rental stuff, we're looking to buy a small hotel, or really what we're doing is we're usually buying something that needs an investment and we turn it into a hotel or we turn it into a guest house. But that's us. We do massive renovations and stuff like that. So I guess I like to do things the hard way.
No doubt about it.
Seller financing is probably the answer then, McKenna.
Yeah.
That's the answer. So if I'm going to look at, if I wanted to go buy an Airbnb tonight, I would not be looking to borrow the money from the bank. I would want to go find a seller who's ready to sell and is willing to finance it because they're already used to getting some monthly revenue. And I would buy their existing Airbnb using a seller financing deal where I'm putting down as little money out of pocket as possible, negotiating the longest term that I possibly can at the lowest interest rate that I possibly can, even if it means that we pay a little bit too much.
I think that sounds right to me. He says beach apartment rented to me and under Airbnb as a super house, but now the owner wants to sell.
Oh, so that's definitely different, right? So you have control of this place. You know what the revenues are. Well, so they've been renting to you. Your best bet is to try and do that seller finance deal if they will allow you to do it.
Yeah.
Your next best bet is to go borrow the money from the bank. If you come and look for a partner, you're probably having to give up too much of the equity and too much of the rents to make it worth your while. So really, I would find out what the seller wants. They know you're already renting the place. You've already got it to where it's superhost status. So they probably feel very good about your ability to keep making payments to them, and make them an offer that's, let's say they're asking $100,000 and you're going to offer them $120,000 or $115,000 with some amount down and then monthly payments. It doesn't matter the price. I'm just trying to show you that you can give them a little bit more than they're asking so that they'll step into the position of the bank. And you can tell them, and this is the honest truth, borrowing money on this island is difficult. If it's not a property that you're going to live in and it doesn't fit in that box, the banks don't want to lend on it. They don't care that it's a cash flowing Airbnb. They don't care that we have a cash flowing apartment complex. They don't even like to lend on cash flowing hotels. At least not
if you were going to move
small
into
ones.
it, they still make it difficult.
And even if you're going to move into it, they still make it hard. Yeah. So that's what I would do.
Well, guys, I think it's the end of our show. Anything else? Any announcements?
I'm looking for partners to go with me to a foreclosure sale. If you're an Apex member, get in touch with me.
There you go. Scott's looking for a partner to do a deal in Ocala. We'll bring it to the Shark Tank tomorrow. Yeah, I got nothing else.
I think that's it.
You know what? We're gonna do a real estate summit in October.
Oh, that's right. I guess we can start talking about that.
Let's start
Yes.
talking about that.
So, guys, we've got, I think, 12
Do we have the
speakers
link page
confirmed.
already? Do we have the page?
We do
Do we have the
not.
page,
We have,
McKenna?
we have a landing page, I think.
No.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No,
Yeah, they told us
just-
you had it.
I was told you have it.
Nah. I've been in my email all day.
Just
Let's
had
see
to
if I can
get
find
sick.
it. Guys, stand with me. I'm going to see if I can pull this up.
But we're going to have a who's who of real estate. We've
Yes.
got Jerry Norton, who you guys all know,
Pedro Cardona.
Pedro Cardona, Richard
Dave Steck.
Taylor, Dave Steck.
It's going to be a full house of big hitters.
Yep.
Just coming to give value to everybody there. It's a free event. We'll set up the link. You could sign up and join us there. It's a 2-day event. Correct.
It's 2 days of all you can eat real estate investing,
100%.
and with the biggest and best names we know.
Yes.
And so we don't know everybody, but we got some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
You're gonna really love it.
Yes.
it's
And
going
the
to be
price
really
is so
cool.
right. I mean,
The
you know,
price is really good.
the price is just phenomenal.
You would think. At
How
that
much is
price,
it gonna
people
cost,
still don't wanna
guys?
go. It's amazing.
Guys,
People
put in the
value,
chat.
people don't do anything though, so it's okay.
There you
Guys,
go.
put in the chat what you think it's going to cost to come to this summit where you're going to see really good speakers give you perfect advice for what you want to do with your life and your business. How much should that cost? What do you think? Put it in the chat.
More than nothing.
That's what I would think.
I would too. Do we have a landing page?
I don't see it. I'm sending them an email asking for it.
We'll make sure that we have the landing page by tomorrow night for the Shark Tank.
Woohoo!
But no matter what, we're still going to do this. It's in October. I think it's the 3rd and the 4th of October. That should be a Thursday and a Friday, or a Friday and a Saturday. I'm not sure. And we hope that you can all make it. So subscribe to the channel. You'll keep hearing about it. You'll get the notifications and stuff. If you follow us on Facebook, we'll be posting it out there as well. And then, guys, on this one, honestly, share it with anybody who's ever thought that they wanted to learn about real estate investing. It's going to be a great time.
Yes. I'm super excited.
You're going to buy this watch?
I don't know.
What is it?
It's just a mirror.
All right, let me look at my spam real quick.
How
actually.
much?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out.
Dude's got a hairy arm.
I know. These guys usually do.
Makes the watch worth less.
To protect it. Protects the watch. Yes. So we're here just waiting for McKenna. We're talking about some dude with a hairy arm trying to sell a Rolex.
Yeah.
I like
He
it.
should have gotten a better arm model.
Yeah.
I don't see a link anywhere.
Let's see some of these. Someone said $4.99. Maybe.
That'd be a
Yeah.
good price. It's
I've
cheaper than
I've
that.
I've seen other people selling events that aren't going to deliver near the value that we've got, that would definitely charge $500.
This question. Here's a good question. I have a 2-1 apartment on Calle San Jorge in Santurce that considered short-term rental. I ended up listing it for 120 or better offer to fund my 2 houses in Fernandez Juncos. I have a deal tomorrow. So I guess that person's got to come present the deal.
Are they coming to Shark Tank tomorrow night, McKenna?
I think that's what they want or asking. Yes.
All right.
David, if you want to
Let's do
present,
it.
you need to join Apex.
By the way, that sounds like something that we would look at.
Yeah, it is.
The way you
David,
present in Apex, I post a comment tomorrow. It'll say comment here if you want to present. Be on the lookout for that. Just comment and say yes, and I will send you the link to be on the StreamYard.
I'm glad you looked at those comments. I would like to deep dive that deal. In the 10 seconds that it took for Adon to stumble through reading your comment, I'm interested in hearing more.
Dude, I read that thing
Perfectly well.
Is there a date for the event?
Yes, October 3rd and 4th.
Put it in your calendars, guys. And we're gonna be blasting out links and a sign up page everywhere.
October
as soon as
3rd
we
and
can find
4th is a
link.
Friday and a Saturday. Yes.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody. God bless. This is Emmanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emmanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.